Rick, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go. This one is If You Want a Beautiful Life, it's available to you. When you hear that, Rick, that the title of this episode, what comes up for you?
Meditation, because that's a technique that I use sometimes to get into meditation where I try to go thoughtless. But to get there, I try to visualize for myself what things in my past and what things I'd like in my future that I really like. What things are they? And so for everybody, the answer is different. For some people, it might have to do with helping other people, being in a career, seeing their kids thrive, having a Christmas morning with their loved one. Whatever it is, those things are very, very important to visualize. For me, it's about nature and feeling like I'm connected to something bigger than myself. And when I visualize that, then it opens the door for lots of other things. And it's sort of like a cascade of beauty. Once you get into the point of knowing what turns you on and you can reflect on that, other doors open that are just as beautiful. And instead of thinking, yeah, but I can't afford it, or, oh, he'll never go along with that if I wanted to. No, you don't do any of that. You just focus on what that feeling is that you love so much about the thing that you find beautiful, elegant, and fills you with grace.
Yeah, for me, all of that is just so true. I think about if I want a beautiful life, it's available to me. I love that because there's agency there. I think growing up in the Western culture, the beautiful life or happy life that we're taught to aspire for is all about what's on the outside. It's all about your career or, what you can do once you earn a certain living and things like that. And I know a lot of people that have careers that they've dreamed about since they were children and people that are extremely wealthy. Their life doesn't look beautiful to me. And while it may look beautiful on paper, when they talk about their life, all I hear is what's wrong with it. So, or what they're stressed out about. So
Yeah.
that part is not there. For me, what I think about is about a beautiful life. I think about what is it that I want to experience and feel inside. And it is with family, without family, with a career, without a career. It is with a car, without a car. Like I just want it to be independent of anything on the outside. Or if it is with something from the outside, I want to give up having a rigid way of what it has to look like, for me to be happy. There are friends who I know that have gone through some challenges in their life, for example, divorce, in which they're living in a smaller place than they did when they were married. And all they do is keep comparing it to the house that they were lived in before. And so that they're miserable. But this is the house you're in now. This is the apartment you're in now. Like you can be grateful in both places, you know? And so that's what I think about the whole time. When I was at Mayo Clinic and I was volunteering, I was so full of gratitude and humility. It was just such a peaceful time. And then when they started paying me, I was filled with gratitude and this peaceful time. And then I started volunteering again, after being a contract employee. But when the pandemic happened, they let me go and I started volunteering again and I was peaceful and happy again. Now, when they said we're going to make you a full-time employee, they sat down and showed me the salary. And the salary was not what my mind said it should be now that I'm becoming a full-time employee. You know what happened next, Rick? I started suffering because I was attached to it being a certain way. Now, how do you explain that? Volunteering, completely happy, peaceful, just a heart full, oriented toward giving. They start to pay me as a contract employee, grateful for that, the same thing, because I had no expectation of being contracted and getting paid. COVID happens, they have to let me go as a contract employee. I'm happy and fulfilled again. And then the minute that they start saying, well, here's the contract, little Keith starts freaking out and start talking about, well, maybe this isn't the job for me. You should do it for free. Like but now all of a sudden it's a problem. So the point of that is that, it's all about, you know, it's all about the mental piece of it, is that I had a beautiful life because of what was going on inside. And once I started to become fixated and attached to this thought that I should be earning more, it became a problem. Fortunately, I reached out. I had typed with this email about, how this wasn't fair and I didn't think it was right and all these other things. And now, mind you, I did two stints of volunteering. And now they're talking about, hey, we're going to pay you, and this time it's going to include all the benefits and this world-class healthcare at Mayo Clinic. You will have access to it. Fortunately, I called somebody back in Rochester, Minnesota, and I started to unload on her about how, hey, listen, this is what they're offering me. It's less than what it was when I was a contract employee. She's like, well, this has benefits in it. So it's actually, when you put the two together, this is actually more. And I kept making this case for it. And I said, let me read you the email that I am going to send them regarding this offer, as if it's a negotiation. And she said to me, Rick, she's like, I probably would send that email. So, Rick, basically what she was saying was, I thought you said you wanted a beautiful life. This isn't the actions of somebody who wants a beautiful life. This is the exact opposite of that. And so, fortunately, I listened to her and I was able to continue with having a beautiful life. I said yes to the offer, and then I continued to receive salary increases. But had I not received any salary increases over the last 3 years, that would have been okay too. And so the point is, if you want a beautiful life, you can have a beautiful life, but it's really up to you. Rick, why don't you close us out with your thoughts?
Always all in your head. You always have control about how you can react to any external circumstance. It doesn't matter what the external circumstance is. If you want a beautiful life, that's your priority, you can have it by controlling your expectations and feeling satisfied and happy with what you have and detaching from any expectation of outcome that's different than what you got.
Absolutely, Rick. I love you. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, Keith. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.